we will soon be conducting another trial for a slightly more advanced stage of type 2 diabetics. Both these trials are expected to be done under the US IND. It is also anticipated that the next set of trials will also be done in the US. So I think these are some very interesting developments in the IN 105 program. We have also decided to re-look at our original strategy of an India first launch approach. We believe that this is not something that we will be doing as we progress this program. We believe that it is extremely important to have a global approach for unlocking maximum value in this program. So in terms of that alone, we have rethought our India first launch strategy, and we will not be really approaching this in an aggressive way. We will be now focusing on making this a global opportunity. We believe we can unlock much more value by taking this approach, but which will also entail a lot more clinical data to be generated so that we can actually unlock very high value for this program. In terms of our T1H program, the phase 3 clinical trials for psoriasis is ongoing. We have recruited almost 70% of the patients required for this trial, and we will start looking at interim data in the middle of next year. So this is another program that is progressing very well. Under the Mylan partnership, again, the MABs programs are progressing very well, and 2 of these have just entered preclinical development. So again, it's on track. And in terms of other aspects of our business, I think we are seeing a lot more traction. We are beginning to really unlock a lot of value in every one of our business portfolios, and we also recognize the fact that we are truly a very differentiated company. The insulins program is certainly a testimony of this approach.
And could you talk to us about the timelines for the Pfizer payment of $1 million? Would that be one time or would it be staggered? And also the $150 million milestone payment, the timelines?
Sure. Well, so the 200 million upfront is going to be received, and the 100 million is going to be reflected in our balance sheet immediately. But in terms of recognizing the income pertaining to this upfront, it will be phased based on certain activities. The other 100 million is going to be in an escrow, and again that will be recognized as income in a phased manner. And then we have $150 million, which are really commercialization milestones. So these obviously will happen as and when we do certain development and commercialization, when we hit those milestones.
Could you share some details on the utilization of these funds?
Yes, a large amount of these funds are going to be utilized for development of these programs and for the regulatory registration of these programs in various global markets. There's another amount which is also going to be utilized for capacity expansion needs. So that's going to be a substantial utilization of these proceeds.
Is there a breakup for how much would be used for capacity expansion?
There's no actual breakup which I could really share with you at this point in time, but suffice to say that we have a pretty clear understanding of how these needs will be catered to in line with what Pfizer's own market needs are.
Sure. Could you also give us an update on the oral insulin?
Yeah, so the oral insulin, like I explained to you, I think we are now at a stage where we want to where we clearly understand what this program can unlock for us in terms of value, and therefore we have taken an approach that we will look at it as a global approach rather than segmenting it into an India first approach and then a global approach. It becomes not only expensive, but we also believe we can actually end up devaluing that asset if we do it that way. So I think we have learned a lot along the way, and we believe it has to be a global asset. And therefore we will be needing to create a number of clinical trials under the US IND to really unlock full value of this program.
Last few questions really. What about the Syngene Beijing listing that was expected to happen in FY11, right? Our plans on track for that?
I would say that, Syngene and Clinigene's business, we are trying to make it a high value offering. We don't want it to be a commodity offering. And I think we have realized that we are in danger of looking at a very commoditized offering if we don't start changing tack. And that's what we've done today. So in the last few quarters, like I shared with you, I think we've decided to deliberately step back and see whether we can actually make it into a much more sustainable, high-margin business. Or else we are,
Well, that's Kiran Mazumdar-Shaw firing on all cylinders, Biocon, and lots of details as well about how that upfront payment will pan out. It will be in two phases. One will be $100 million. It will come in immediately into the balance sheet, and the rest, that is the other $100 million, will come into an escrow account and will reflect in the balance sheet in a very phased manner. More importantly, they've been growing at more than 30% in all of their key verticals, be it Agricorp, be it biosimilars. Even the domestic formulations business is growing in a very, very healthy manner, and a lot more details of what they would be doing with that upfront payment as well. We should just pull up the stock for you. It had hit a lifetime high of about 472 when the news broke out. It moved about 10 to 11% in the last 4 or 5 trading sessions, but the stock has stabilized at that 446 odd mark.